Thank you for tuning in to Gloves Off Seattle. Your hosts, Patti and Meagan, will be talking about all things Seattle women's hockey. A huge Pacific Northwest welcome to the PWHL. Gloves Off Seattle! Oh, well, hello, and welcome to another episode of Gloves Off Seattle.
Gloves Off Seattle.
I think we've finally gotten it. Maybe. Sure, why not? I don't know. We did that last time.
Okay, whatever.
Yeah, so second time in a row, or maybe third, whatever. So today on Gloves Off Seattle, we are affectionately referring to this as the
goalie episode.
Yeah, we're gonna call it the goalie episode. So originally we had said last week that we were gonna do spend the next 6 weeks going over each of our draft picks, and so
We are
for sure we are. But and last week we did Jenna Buglioni.
Yeah.
So yeah, our first draft pick. So this week we are going to talk about Hannah Murphy, who was our second draft pick, but there's been some big news this week. So we are also going to talk about the whole goaltender situation at PWHL Seattle. So yes, we now
all three.
We now have three goalies. For those that are watching, we are wearing matching T-shirts. If you can see, they are the Ducks, Anaheim Ducks Pride shirts.
Tacoma Pride today.
Yeah,
so
we went to
had to represent.
Yeah, we went to Tacoma Pride. So it is July, but because there are lots of Pride events here in the area, they try and spread them out. Uh-oh, what's wrong?
A little crooked.
Oh, my necklace is crooked. Anyway, so they try and spread them out. So we go into July for all of our Pride events. Actually, we have another Pride event in 2 weeks. So yeah, we get Pride all summer, which is great. Actually, I think there's like Alki Beach Pride in August. Like it goes on forever and ever, guys. So if you're into Pride, which obviously we are, it's a fun place to be. So we went to Tacoma Pride, and now we're recording a podcast episode for Monday.
Yeah, we are.
So the big news of the week, which we did a little reel about this on social media, is that I don't even get to say it. We signed Carly Jackson to PWHL. They signed a 1-year contract, and that will make that fills out our goalie roster, really. And so we thought that instead of just talking about Hannah Murphy, which we will go through what we know about Hannah Murphy, we are going to talk about all three goalies. So Corinne Schroeder, Hannah Murphy, and CJ, Carly Jackson.
Yes.
Okay, so let's start with Hannah Murphy.
They go by Carly still, or is it
They do. They do go by Carly Jackson. So that their handles on social media are all, and they use she and they programs, so pronouns. So it is. I know I sometimes trip over that, but I try and be respectful.
Megan Turner use a they pronouns, because I think they pronouns should be standardized and just used and normalized.
Yeah, if that's the preferred pronouns, my take on it is whatever you want to be called, we'll call you.
That's right.
So just correct us if we're wrong. That's how I feel. If I'm calling you the wrong name, I would much rather you tell me that you're calling me the wrong name. It's so funny because someone was accidentally calling Patti, mispronouncing our last name last week, and she didn't correct them, and it was like nails on a chalkboard every time they said it wrong.
Like 8 times in a row.
Yeah, but
But she's like a matriarch.
She is. She's a wise elder.
Yeah.
We didn't want to correct her, but anyway, it was one of those moments where it's like, this is why names are important and why the names that people want to use are important. But that's another podcast. We're talking about hockey.
Yes, we are. And our goalie situation.
So Hannah Murphy, our second round draft pick. Let's first talk about the jumpsuit she was wearing at the draft. Chef's kiss.
I don't even remember it. Oh, okay, I do remember.
You don't remember the jumpsuit for a little bit. It was chef's kiss.
That's more why my wife's Serena.
Oh yeah. Holy cow! I was like, she stood up, and I was like, wow, I want that jumpsuit. That jumpsuit was gorgeous. So Hannah Murphy, hats off to you for an amazing outfit for draft night. Kudos. And it makes me even more excited for walk-ins this season, because I think we just,
as if that could happen.
I know, because we're all the fashion queens. Like, we've got all the fashion queens. So anyway, that was the first thing I noticed. And then we started reading about her. So what did we learn, Patti?
Colgate.
Yeah, she went to Colgate.
And was the captain of the Colgate University hockey team, which is very, very different. I don't know. I'm sure there's a lot of people here that know a lot about hockey, but there's some people that don't know much. And to have a goalie as the captain of the team is almost unheard of.
Yeah.
honestly. In the NHL, I think it's illegal. That's what Brian said, didn't he? I don't think they,
Illegal?
I mean, it's not, it doesn't
Well,
have, it's not
Brian,
allowed. It's
Brian,
not
you were
allowed.
gonna have to chime in on this,
Yes.
whether you can, and in the NHL, you can have, I don't know,
I think he said it was not
and I don't know
allowed.
if the PWHL allows goalies to be captains.
I
I
don't
haven't,
know, but it's very different.
yeah,
And a huge sign, a
yeah,
huge stroke of confidence that
yeah,
we get, that I get just thinking about, that she was the captain of the team, that you can captain from
from the
in the
goal, yeah,
crease.
yeah,
Like, it's, I mean, okay, it's a great vantage point and your eyes always on the puck, your eyes always on the game, but it's an amazing thing. To
yeah.
me, it's amazing.
Well, and I think that the reputation of goalies is they're kind of off in their own little world and that they are somewhat separate from the team. And not in a, I don't mean that in a derogatory way at all. I just mean like that seems to be what that the
Well,
what,
that's the nature of it. They
right.
stay in the crease. They're in the goal. They're not a part of the skating team. They're not with the they're not with the rush. I mean, they're
Well, and I think the training is so
extreme.
much different too. Like, I
Yeah.
mean, they're not training in the same way as the rest of the team is because the skill set that they're looking to use is so much different. So, all that to say, I think like it isn't very impressive. And, we are impressed by the fact that she was the captain of her, collegiate team,
And
her
another
senior year.
shutout queen.
Yeah,
18
18th.
shutouts at Colgate.
Yeah, so that was very impressive too, because yeah, I think we have an impressive goalie staff, guys. Like the more I'm looking into these women. I think the big thing and the big conversation that I want to have, and that we've kind of been having all week since CJ got signed is order. And my feelings about order and other people's feelings about order and what's going on here. Oh, I'm getting patted on the head right now, guys. That's what Patty's doing. She's like, "Oh, Meagan, you're so
My wife was
cute."
so cute. She was like, "Oh my gosh, I'm going to see Carly in the building every day. I'm going to see them
No,
on the
I
bench
said,
every
"Oh,
game.
every game."
Every game I'm going to see them." And I was like, I'm not sure. I'm not sure. I don't know the order.
I
I
bet they're
want to
going to
get, as
be in.
Megan
I bet
said,
they're going to be in the building even if they're not
they
playing.
might
If they're
be,
not
but
dressed out, come on.
I don't know. I don't know what the third goalie does in the
Okay,
league. So
okay. Anyway, so let's talk about this. So Hannah Murphy, we think she's very impressive. Stats are very impressive. She's played hockey since she was 4 years old, guys. So she is Canadian, which I mean, that's
it's
very,
in their blood.
very.
Her mom was her agent. She didn't have an
Oh
agent.
yeah, that's another very
Mhm.
interesting factoid that we learned that she didn't have an agent. Her mom's a lawyer, and so she let her mom do her contract for her, which is like, yeah, hats off to you. That's great.
Right?
But I think, I just, not, I don't want to, take away from the conversation about Hannah Murphy and how impressive she is. And the fact that she was the highest,
Goalie
drafted
pick.
goalie.
Yeah.
And so like that's the other thing. And what I read was that was anticipated that she was one of two that would probably go first. So they were anticipating that. But all that to say, so my first instinct, and this is just like again, like let's talk about Megan's not so high knowledge of hockey because I have not been involved in the sport as long as other people.
She's learning very
I
quickly.
am trying, is that when I heard that we had signed CJ as a third goalie, my assumption is that and I'm sure I could be wrong, and I've been given lots of reasons why I'm probably wrong, is that CJ would not have made a move to another team to be a third goalie. And that my initial gut instinct is if I'm Hannah Murphy and just got drafted, am I pissed because now I'm down in the pecking order? And quickly got told that's probably not going to be the case because, and you say why.
Well, I mean, Hannah is younger, I think,
Hmm.
but
She is.
yeah, I think that I just think that it's going to be, I don't know, it's going to be Schroeder and then Hannah Murphy. I'm not. Why did I say that? And now I just think that that's the way it is, and
Well,
that CJ came as the third
because
signing.
you said, and I think that, Brian, we'll let Brian be in the side conversation
He
about
may
this
as well
too.
be just in the
Yeah, he might as well be
podcast.
in this podcast because we get a lot of information from him. Thanks, Brian. I think that she would not have been drafted as high if they were not anticipating her to
Being a
be
second.
second goalie.
Yeah.
So but let's even back up off that. So we've talked about this, the goalie situation in teams, and that there is normally and I think we actually talked about this with Brian when he was on the podcast, is that there's normally a number one, there's the situation is either there's a number one goalie that plays most of the games. They rest them every once in a while. Obviously, if they're hurt, you'll have a number
Back to
two goalie.
backs.
Yeah, that sort of thing. And then the other scenario is you have A
Two
B
very good
goalies, right?
goalies,
Two
one
very
A
good
and one
goalies,
B.
and they alternate back and forth. So the Ducks last season had that scenario, and so
Her
like
goalie and my
I
goalie.
yeah, so I had a favorite goalie and she had a favorite goalie, and they were not the same person.
My
So
goalie was traded, so now her goalie's it. So
yeah. Anyway, but that's anyway. So that was the situation. The Ducks, and I saw that all the time because we watched a lot of Ducks games.
and that was that Minnesota Frost they were doing 1A, 1B?
Yes, Frost
Yeah.
also did 1A, 1B. And so anyway, we made the assumption when Schroeder was when we got her in the expansion draft that she was going to be the
Number one.
number one and
Yeah.
that there wasn't going to be a 1A, 1B situation. And even more so when we drafted Murphy, that she was probably going to be backup to Schroeder. And
She's
so
young, right? How old is Hannah Murphy?
I don't know exactly how she's just graduated college, so
Okay.
I don't
You
have her
didn't
age on
write
that.
it
I haven't
down.
gotten it down yet.
Okay.
But she just graduated college, so I mean, I'm guessing she's like 23, 24. Like I
Right.
would guess somewhere around there, maybe even younger. I don't know, but also unproven in the league, right? So she's never played professional
Right.
hockey before. And she has played, she's played on the Canadian national team, I believe, or was in training at least with the Canadian national team, but never played in a professional league before. And so it seems obvious to me that she would be a backup to Schroeder, who has played 2 years in this league and in
Right.
other leagues.
Right.
So
But CJ has also played in
right, right.
other
So then that's
professional
where
leagues,
my
thinking that she's going to be number two, that she wouldn't sign for number three.
And that's just my business acumen, like coming into play is like, why would you make that deal for yourself? Or if you were going to be, unless there's some other enticement that we don't know about. And like, obviously wasn't part of any discussions.
There's also the factor too, not to interrupt
No, go
you,
ahead.
but Hannah Murphy is young and unproven, and if she's just going to sit on the bench and not do anything and not get any time, like how is she going to prove herself? How is she going to improve?
Mhm.
How is she going to step up her game to the league if she's not going to get time in?
Right.
So that's where I was like, I wish we had like minor league games, minor league teams
Right.
where they could get more time in, and then maybe possibly CJ would be the solid number two.
Right.
I don't know. I don't know the answers to these questions.
Yeah. So I think what we're anticipating is that training camp is gonna happen, and then it'll probably all get sorted out, and then they'll say what the plan is as far as the goalie situation, and then we'll know from there. So we can conjecture till we're blue in the face, but I think honestly, go ahead.
I was just thinking that my wife wants to see CJ in the building.
Well, of course, like and the reason being is not and it's funny because they played in what's the other leagues? I can't even remember what the other
PHL?
no, it's the NWHL. The
Okay.
NWHL, and so they have been playing professional hockey for quite a while. And I'm kind of an underdog person too. I'm like, let them get their shot. Let them prove themselves.
Probably
But
when they had that one game that they played and
Pride night.
yeah,
Pride
Pride
night.
night.
Yeah.
And they won in the shootout,
Yeah,
right?
they shut out the
Yeah,
shootout.
shut out the shootout.
Mhm.
And it was awesome. And then, they played one game in the playoffs, but that's fine. But it was really good.
Yeah.
And just a fan favorite, CJ is.
Right.
And like the fan engagement is there. And we
Yeah.
are there we really are. Sorry.
Oh, wow. Patty's taking
I'm
apart
really
the equipment.
excited.
She's taking apart the equipment now.
Wow.
So I think the fact that that there is a lot of fan engagement. They are a fan favorite, and I think that is part of the reason why people are so excited about having. I mean, a lot of people are very excited about having them in Seattle,
Mhm.
but I think that also speaks to the depth of the bench that we're gonna have, and that it's like there are. I think that even though they didn't play a lot last season, that they still they have had some ice time and in other leagues, and so we know that if they need to, we have backup on
They're ready.
backup on backup,
They will be
which is
ready.
good, yeah.
Yeah.
So it'll just be interesting to see what happens. I think at this point,
We're excited.
we're very excited. So I don't know anything else that we want to talk about. I mean, I don't know that we actually really talked about Corinne Schroeder other than just that she's
Shutout queen.
very impressive, very impressive. Oh, we were also talking about how tall they are. So Corinne Schroeder is 5'11",
11.
Hannah Murphy is
5'10",
and then CJ is 5'5".
5'5", which
It's okay. You can be a short queen and be it.
except for with her quickness
That-
and her active glove.
Oh yeah, and the other really interesting thing is I was watching some videos today, and Hannah Murphy juggles, and so does CJ. So I'm wondering,
Do all goalies
do
juggle?
all
I
yeah, do
think they
all goalies juggle? And is Corinne Schroeder a juggler? And I need to know, and I need to see juggling, and then I need to see partner juggling. Like I need to,
Ooh,
yeah, yeah. So not just solo juggling. I need you to like, and with maybe no, don't do knives. We don't want you guys to get injured. That would be bad.
falling knife has no handle.
What?
A falling knife has no handle. That's a chef's rule.
Oh.
If
You
the
just let
knife
it
is, you
fall.
let it,
You just let it
right?
fall.
Got
Okay,
that?
I'm like,
Yep, got
what are
that.
you saying? I've never heard this before. A falling knife has no handle. That's great. Um, okay. I know, it's gone.
It's fine.
I
What
know.
else do we have?
I don't know. I don't know if we have anything
That was the
else.
goalie episode. We're so excited to see how this plays out.
Yeah.
Honestly,
I think on top of just the talent we have, I think we have some really cool, interesting people that like just from a human perspective, which is what's so fun for me because not only getting, I mean, like they were doing these videos with the draftees about like what their favorite movie was and like what their favorite pump up song and just seeing, I think, people on a human level is really funny. Hannah Murphy's like, I've never been to Seattle before. I'm like, girl.
it's
I was like, you're
about
gonna
to
be living
change.
here. Like, holy cow, you've never been here before. But yeah, it's I think we said it, like we love living here. We love the Pacific Northwest. It's beautiful.
We went hiking last night until like
Yeah,
8:30.
8:30 at night
8:30
because the
and
sun's
the
out.
sunset dusk was at 10 p.m.
Yeah.
Okay, so welcome to the Pacific Northwest.
And the nice thing is this is the off season, so you're gonna have plenty of time to, to go hiking and enjoy the nature and all that kind
Mhm.
of stuff. So,
Yeah.
yeah, I think this season I'm really ready to gear up for the season. And I know that we said last week that we were going to talk about the coach. We'll talk about O'Rourke. We'll get him in. We'll slide him in. Maybe we'll get him in next week. But we just felt like
With the CJ signing, how could you
yeah,
not?
there was
Because
just like a
of
whole,
what's happening right now.
yeah, there's a whole big thing happening. And there's been other, I mean, there's been invites to training camp going on. There's been, other free agent signings. Like it's, there's still just a lot of swirl and activity going on. And so, yeah, I don't know. I'm interested once training camp starts, like how that all shakes out and if there's any roster changes there, which I'm sure there will be, right? Like that's what happens.
Yeah, yeah,
And then we get to see how the team gels and how everybody plays together.
yeah. But we do need to say that we pretty much manifested this. I'm just saying, we did.
Patty's taking credit. I was taking credit actually. I actually think
For weeks.
we've been talking about it for a while. I mean the hope that maybe
What
that
if this happens?
what if,
Like,
what if
put those vibes out
and
there.
then the really funny thing is in our group chat that there was a little activity that happened and then it started getting talked about that like maybe CJ is coming to Seattle. And I just am like, I'm not gonna even get my hopes up, guys. Like I don't even want to get my hopes up around that. And then I mean I screamed like when I saw the announcement. I was like, oh my gosh, like that's yeah. So obviously I
Mhm.
have a hockey crush. We all know this though. It's not.
It is not news to
I'm trying to be cool about it, but my wife's not letting me, interestingly enough. Not letting me be cool about my hockey crush. Anyway, excited to have Hannah Murphy.
Ooh,
Let's
quick
go back. Yeah,
segue.
we're going back. Excited to have Hannah Murphy. Excited to get you out here. I'm excited to get all the players out here, really, honestly. But seeing you get drafted was really fun. Having, seeing you get excited with your mom and dad was super cute.
It was
It
very
was,
cute,
yeah, draft night it was really fun to watch everybody. Yeah,
even
just
though we weren't together.
no, we weren't,
Yeah,
but we talked about that in the last episode. We
yeah.
were in separate places, so.
Yeah.
Okay, anything else? Draft related,
Hmm.
goalie related.
Goalie draft related? I don't think so.
Now, honestly, in case someone has forgotten, which I'm sure Brian has it, I'm sure he probably answered the question. Uh, can a goalie be the
Captain
captain
in the
in PWHL?
PWHL.
Oh, and the NHL. I mean, like, let's just like in a
I'm surprised
professional
that it was
league.
not
I
allowed.
don't remember that,
I
but
don't know why I don't know that for sure, but
yeah.
I definitely know that there haven't been, that I don't know of any captains that have
Yeah,
been.
it's probably few and far between, would be
Yeah.
my guess. But
Oh,
it just,
hummingbird just landed on the sunflower.
oh,
Oh,
we have sunflowers in our backyard, guys.
yeah,
We're looking out into our backyard. That's where we're facing. So
yeah,
we have sunflowers.
love it.
So yeah, so it just speaks, I think it speaks to Hannah Murphy's leadership and her just the impressiveness of who she is that she was named the captain of her team. So we don't want to, gloss over that at all.
Definitely
So
not. It's huge.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think we're good.
I think that's our episode for this week, guys. We will continue on our draftees next week, and unless something major happens this week, and then we'll get derailed again. Well, we didn't get derailed. We just
We took
made
the
this a
we wanted
whole.
to take.
That's right. We made this a whole episode about our three goalies. Shut out Schroeder, Hannah Murphy. We don't have a nickname for you yet, and CJ, which is CJ's nickname. So there we go. Done.
Done. Thanks. See you next week.
Okay. Bye-bye. And that's the show. Tune in next time for another episode of Gloves Off Seattle.